Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the ancestors past, present and future and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Oakley dokley, where do we start today? Yep, still here. Okay, what I want to have a look at is, where do I start? It is one of those days. Where do I start? First of all, entertainment only. Sorry, it took me 24 seconds to get to that point. Okay, so apparently the Congress House is coming back today, theoretically. They are arriving back in Washington, D.C. I was sent a schedule of when they're going to sit, but there is actually nothing in it aside from an actual calendar with days marked and when they're going to sit. So I'm going to watch that with great interest. And as I'm splitting the deck while I'm talking about that, we've got the Hierophant, which is about government, but it can also be sitting there, this guy sitting on his throne, ordering these monks of what his royal decree is. And we've also got beaten up and backs up against the walls, trying to get the handrails, the boundaries, the guidelines to stand. So I will sit in anticipation to see whether the House actually does go back and in what form and what actually happens. Okay, looking at the Orange Twerp schedule for, because it does post up, you can have a look at his schedule on per day. The only thing he's really got in is a closed meeting address to GOP members retreat at the, and it says the JF Kennedy Memorial Centre. There's no Orange Twerp name on there at all, that I thought was quite interesting. And then apparently that's at 10 a.m. and then apparently he's back in the White House for a 2:30 closed door policy meeting. Now, just be aware we are going to get fed pre-recorded and AI edited, etc. Videos of the Orange Twerp at these particular meetings. His health is absolutely atrocious. And I'm just going to point it out once again. I've been saying it for quite a while. The reason why the regime is being so aggressive and so rash acting is because they know they've got extremely limited time. Because theoretically they were supposed to, via allegedly cheating, the Orange Twerp was supposed to win the 2020 election and be put in for a second term. Then this is why he's so angry about the fact that he claiming it was stolen, they cheated, etc. Because he had been told at the time that yes, everything was in place and he was going to win. They thought they had that 4 years to actually implement what they're trying to get through now. And that's why there was such this kerfuffle about supposed, it was supposed to be mine. And the reason why was because his absolute mismanagement of the COVID situation led to massive mail-in voting. And that's why, again, he's so desperate to get rid of the mail-in voting, because I believe the mail-in voting, you don't run it through the voting machines at the voting centres, so therefore they couldn't cheat and flip. The time at the White House, it's coming to an end, and it's coming to an end very rapidly. So what do I want to have a look at? I haven't even got this written down. I'm going to have a look at Shady. I'll have a look at Shady, and then I want to throw up on the end of it about Maduro. So I'm using the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition tarot deck. Do apologise if the light's not great. I'm at my mum's at the moment. Shady. Okay. He's waiting on the sidelines, the Hanged Man, with the Page of Swords there. His strategy at the moment is he's gone really quiet. But this more youthful, and I won't say he's youthful. Oh, speaking of 3-day stubble looking like a face, Cruz came out and said, Greenland should be honoured, or whatever it was, to be called Americans. Oh, I'll have a look at Greenland a bit later. But yeah, the Page of Swords, ready to go, ready to enter the fight, but immature and naive. And he's waiting behind the scenes, but I don't think he's going to. I honestly don't think he's going to get in. Okay, and yeah, because the Orange Twerp, first of all, is not vacating the throne, he was. Oh, it's convoluted. It's very convoluted. They thought they had more time. The time is fast running out. They thought they had that 4 years, and that's why Russia attacked Ukraine when it did, because they thought they were going to have the Orange Twerp in the Oval Office as well, and they actually held back as long as they could with the build-up of military. And then they launched in just before, knowing that it would be fiddled for a Republican Congress, which then hamstrung Biden going forward in the assistance he could give to Ukraine. Okay, but let's have a look. What's Shady up to? And if you're wondering who Shady is, it's the beady-eyed um, going on tour with Charlie Kirk's grieving widow. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's Shady up to? He's been very quiet. I haven't looked to see what he's been up to. I haven't Googled, but you know, usually when they're coming out, that comes across my radar. Come on, let's have a look. What's Shady up to? Okay. Right, the energy that he's dealing with at the moment is the Emperor refusing to give up, the Orange Emperor refusing to give up the throne. And just refusing to. The Orange Twerp is in full dementia, pre-temporal frontal lobe, or whatever it is, which, okay, I'm just getting that he is making him feel like he's a god. I'm getting okay, that's interesting. I'm getting that he's getting hallucinations of him being a god. I don't know if that's normal. Not hallucinations, but actual belief. The Emperor, untouchable, godlike. Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay. And yeah, he's waiting, hanging around. The challenge is he's had to put the brakes on his plans. I really think he's getting impatient. But yeah, so you've got the Emperor that's refusing to step aside, and Shady's waiting in the wings. Okay, but what's he actually up to? Okay, Knight of Pentacles is the energy he's stewing in. His forward progress has been stopped. He is looking at his opportunity, but his opportunity has been stopped. He's actually, if you have a look at that, the facial expression on that Knight. I use particular decks because my guides want me to use the images as much as anything. He does not look a happy camper, as his ambition, his opportunity, it's been screeched to a halt. So two stops here. In the past, all cozied up, moneyed up, living a life of luxury. I believe someone stoned his house yesterday, broke some windows and got arrested. He's lucky he wasn't even there. He's living in DC at the moment. But yeah, people are not happy with Shady either. You'll probably find that whoever did that was a Republican voter. They always are. But yeah, here he was in the past in his gilded cage, thinking he's going to be given this opportunity, gifted it on a silver spoon pretty much, all cashed up, ready to go. Yep. But again, trapped in this cage, unable to move forward. Crowning this reading, the Three of Cups. It can be a celebration, but to me this is more about the circling support. The circling support. Are these the shady supporters, or are these that are? Is this Miller, Rubio, and Wiles who are closing ranks around the orange twerp? Let's see where this goes. Right, Queen of Wands in the immediate future. Again, an inaction card. Queens for me are internally doing, not externally. The Queen of Wands is very much about having to hold back, unless it's a powerful female figure, but it's not in this particular instance. The immediate future is he's going to have to hold back and hold back on his messaging. But it's also, Laurie from The Way of Positive Change puts it, it's the only queen that has her knees apart and front facing. It's almost like he's having to hold back on his messaging as he's prostituted himself. Oh, I hate that term, but anyhow, prostituted himself. But yeah, again, he's having to hold back. Right. Externally, the throwing under the bus, infighting, and I've got a little gnat floating around there if you can see something flitting across the cards. This is the infighting. His position is not secure. There are others that want the top dog role. Rubio, Miller. Wiles is very happy to... Oh, gosh. Yeah, he's out. He's out. A lot of us readers have picked up that he won't ever actually be sworn in, or if he is, it's for a nanosecond. But on the bottom, we've got the Five of Pentacles, the opportunity. He's at, with the latest steps in regards to Venezuela and the saber rattling for Greenland. He might not be. He's going to have it stolen from him. Hope he hasn't picked the curtains yet. So we've got the Five of Wands, externally, internally, Seven of Swords. The stealing from the circus, having this opportunity stolen from him, having this strategy stolen from him. Right, the hopes and fears, the Knight of Swords, harsh truth coming forward, but this can also be really rash action, that power plunging in without forethought, very much how the attack on Venezuela was. And yes, I do believe Maduro was in on it. Happened all too easily, even though 40 Cubans and Argentinians were unalived in the process. It was all too easy. But I keep getting that Maduro he's made a deal, but the deal's not going to be honoured. Okay, no, because this regime never honours their agreements. But the Knight of Swords, a harsh truth, rash action, in the hopes and fears, the outcome. Right, the King of Wands. So Shady, what's Shady up to? The King of Wands. So the Queen of Wands here, but in the immediate future, but the more distant future, the outcome, the King of Wands. Not looking very happy there, but also taking action, some messaging, a new plan that's being brought forward. Oh, this is interesting. Diminished with the Six of Pentacles, the opportunity being diminished and paid off. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is really a diminishing here. Juggling where to go forward to from now. What, the ship's on the stormy sea, the reduction in the opportunity, juggling the options. And another Two of Swords. This could be having to make some sort of legal decision. But then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the end of an era, end of a legacy. On the bottom, you've got that Five of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon card, the Hermit. some sort of restriction and an announcement coming from the White House, and the walking away in the background. Out in the cold, not going as he thought, some lunacy potentially, or secrets being revealed, or something that is brought to the surface and was not what is expected. The hermit, isolation, perhaps seeking a new path forward over the rocky ground, but he's going to find himself somehow restricted, and there's going to be an announcement that comes that is going to, I don't think Shady's going to. What's Shady up to at the moment? He is biding his time, but just watch the man. He might get a. Okay, is Shady aware? Because I did get ages ago, a couple of times, that there is going to be this infighting about who actually takes over. Well, could be the military, but we've also got this abuse of power, betrayal, this sabotage, this stealing. But it could also be somebody military riding in as a winner that is betraying. Now, that could be Peg's Breath and Narco Rubio. Oh, speaking of Rubio, I don't think I've posted it in my post section yet. His brother-in-law apparently used to run quite an extensive cocaine ring that Rubio used to do work for him when he was a teenager. I'll post the article when I've finished this reading. Anyhow, so what am I looking at? Rubio is not the squeaky clean that he claims to be. Yeah, with Vance, the offer. He's going to be made an offer that he does not want because he thought he had it all lined up. But I think he's going to get an offer that he doesn't want. So what's going to happen when Shady realizes he's not the choice? Now, these two popped out, and that is on the bottom again. The Moon card and the Death card. Some sort of secret being revealed, or plot being revealed that he doesn't like, that it's just the crazy idiocy. The Death card. What's next? Yep, and there's that Queen of Wands again. Now, I'm not saying he's got feminine energy at all. This is just very much about prostituted himself, having to keep his messaging to himself. I get this feeling of being abandoned. The Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. A hidden agenda opportunity, and it's a different plan. But what's Hegseth going to do when he realizes? He's going to fight for it, is what I'm getting. But the Wheel of Fortune and an inability to harvest. I just, betrayed. Betrayed. The agreement has been betrayed, and it was Smoke and Mirrors' poor choice. Smoke and Mirrors' poor choice. The Smug Merchant. Be careful what you wish for. And then we've got the Hierophant, the Royal Decree, plotting behind the scenes, and isolation. And it's going to happen really quickly. I think Shady's on the outer. You've got the Four of Cups, not liking what's on offer, the King of Swords, and then the Ten of Wands. the inability to bring it all together to get it home. And I wonder if this King of Swords is, I mean, we do know that this regime likes bringing false charges to further their agenda. Mark Kelly being case in point, even Maduro being case in point. You can't bring US gun laws charges against somebody who is not a US citizen and not in the US, and something else to argue. It was something to do with, I can't remember, it was something to do with an acknowledged leader. But the US has never acknowledged that Maduro was the leader, so that case falls apart there as well. What am I looking at with in regards to, they're going to bring false charges about something against Shady. Legally restricted and death. I think they are. Legally restricted and death, bringing it to an end. And there's that card wanted to go onto the top, and there's that card again. Prostituted himself and he's going to be silenced. Forced to walk away, forced to leave. Look at these two. 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords, both of them being moved on. And the Wheel of Fortune. And then the Sun card. And on the back foot trying to defend his position. He had the gift from the past, but it's not going to be honoured. Yeah. Oh, and on the bottom, Justice, Ace of Swords, the agreement, the betrayal, the whoever wants to sit in the big chair, out in the cold, the infighting, and stopped. I think they might. I think the regime might be bringing some legal action against Shady to move him right along. Didn't see that coming. We'll see whether that plays out. I can only go on energies of the day. But let's see, just that was pretty, kept getting repeated, didn't it? Okay, so my next question, I just wanted to finish this up. Again, entertainment only. I can't help but feeling, is Maduro going to be Assad'd? I feel like there was a deal done there that is not going to be honoured. A deal that was done that is turning into some sort of nightmare situation. What am I getting? Something happening really quickly. A lot of messaging coming out. A decision has to be made, but a tower moment. Now, when I say that, 10 of Swords and 3 of Swords, betrayal, downfall. Now, if you think about Assad'd, the ex, not talking about Julian Assange, I'm talking about Assad'd, was the leader of Syria, was deposed, fled to Russia, and never to be seen of again. Assets were seized and never to be seen again. Is Maduro? Yeah, he's turning into be a really big headache, and something's going to be created out of nothing. They haven't got a case against him. There is no proof of drug trafficking. I mean, Maduro's not a nice person, don't get me wrong. He is awful, awful, awful. But there is no legal case against him that would stand up in a proper court of law. I'm not talking about kangaroo court. Hierophant and the World card. On the world stage, it would not stand up. Now, the Hierophant can be the ICC, and we've got the World. or it can simply be something in the legal system that brings this to an end. I don't think they actually have a legal case against him. Entertainment only. From what I understand, I believe Maduro was complicit in his removal, but they're having a falling out and they need to cleanse. And there's that world card again at the top. The world card trying to find a path forward, and then the betrayal. I really get the feeling that whatever agreement there was is not going to be honoured. But I do wonder if he's going to be a strategy, a new strategy, because for the throwing under the bus. I just now, okay. So Assad, Syria, look off to his allies, Ruska, never to be heard of again. Is Maduro somehow going to be Assad'd? Whether they will let him go into exile somewhere where him and his wife, where they are never heard of again. Is Maduro going to be Assad'd? I read the other day, Venezuela's not going to turn out how the regime planned it to. But let's have a look. Is Maduro going to be Assad'd? Come on down. Right. Being sent somewhere else, being sent into exile is the first card, Six of Swords. Challenged by the Three of Cups, closing ranks, some sort of potential celebration perhaps. Challenged by the three plotters behind the scenes. Right, got the foundation there, the Eight of Pentacles, working on a plan. Someone may have been paid to take him with money trail, but this is working on, it hasn't been finalised yet. But it does involve exchanging money. He might be sent to Argentina. Remember they gave Argentina 40 billion? Not quite sure where. The Four of Pentacles in the past. Okay, this is keeping the plan secret in the past. Crowning the reading, but there's the false knight with a false offer. I'm asking, is he going to be Assad'd? Justice on the bottom. Actions having consequences. Or unjust opportunity. Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, some sort of agreement, but it's going to end up with him falling ill or something, but I'll just leave those on the bottom there. Yeah, the false knight, a false offer being made here, an announcement coming from the White House in the immediate future, but it is about a betrayal with that Five of Swords. And yeah, betrayal and downfall. Yeah, I think he's going to be. Again, two of Pentacles. Again, this is shipping off overseas potentially, weighing up options and the hopes and fears. The outcome, defensive on the back foot, the wheel turning, and the devil. You play with the devil will have his due. I think, yes, he is. I think they're going to, the moment they're working on sending him elsewhere, sending him overseas, some sort of offer of asylum or I think he's going to be. And that four of swords as well. Yes, I think there's going to be some sort of in the works of where to send him. It's going to seem like a good deal at the time, but yeah, I think he will disappear when he gets there. The money will be taken and he will do a disappearing act. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What have I got? Moon, the harsh truth, and then a judgment card. I'm going to leave that there. That's okay. Catch you shortly.